Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. My name is Dr. Asha Patil from SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. Today we are going to deal with how meetings are organized at the community level. Community participation is the heart of all developmental programs. While working with the communities, one needs to establish rapport with the people. There are various strategies used for this. One amongst them is organizing meeting. It helps to establish trust and honesty with the community people. People's participation is essential in community mobilization process. It creates a sense of belongingness and ownership in the minds of people. For example, while deciding the venue for adult education center, the prerak, that means the teacher, should listen to the views and opinions of adult illiterates. In the initial stage, the community people may not participate fully as they may not be used to such practice. In this module, we are going to see how community meetings are organized successfully, do's and don'ts while organizing meetings, and the role of a community worker. In this module, I am going to use the term community worker, that means anyone who works at community level or maybe at grassroots level. She may be the prerak of adult education center or a volunteer teacher or a block or district coordinator or anyone who is involved in community development program. Thus, the learning objectives are: the learners explain purpose of organizing meetings, illustrates types of meetings, plans meetings, holds meeting in the community, makes arrangements of resources for the meeting, writes minutes of the meetings, utilizes skills while organizing meetings, and understands the importance of meetings and its implementation for the developmental programs and for mobilization of the community. This process starts with establishing contacts with the community. This can be done through a number of ways. One of the ways is conducting meeting. Meetings help in building relationship and establishes a rapport with the people. People working for the community, especially the community worker or grassroots level workers, should understand its importance, as these meetings play a crucial role in success of the program. The community worker should make these meetings run effectively. The community worker must remember that most people do not like to attend meetings. They feel it is just a time pass, especially when they are not aware about purpose of the meeting. It is possible that their opinion may be based on their past experiences. Hence, the purpose of meeting must be clearly explained to the people concerned. The community worker should also make sure that the meetings are not held frequently or for very trivial issues. Unless it is necessary, meetings should not be called. Purpose of meeting. There are various purposes for which one can organize meetings in the communities. The first purpose may be to build a rapport with the people or to interact with people about their issues and ideas, to understand current status of people, to find out the key informants and resources, both human as well as material, available in the community, or to build a team for further planning and action to be taken based on the needs of the people, to find local leaderships, to discuss the purpose and role of the community worker and her organization, or to discuss the role of the community. This list is not totally exhaustive. The purpose of conducting meetings depends on the type of community and its needs. Let us see the types of meetings. Generally, There are two types of meetings, namely open meeting and closed meeting. Open meeting means it is one which can be attended by any person. Public meetings on the issues such as right to information, discussion on annual budget of India, health awareness lectures, etc. are the examples of open meetings. Closed meeting means they are attended by only a few people, only invitees. Anybody cannot walk in the meeting. For example, meetings of primary school teachers at block education office or monthly review meetings of prerogatives working in adult education centers or distribution of primers, that is teaching learning material to adult learners attending literacy class, etc. These come under the type of closed meetings. There are varieties of meetings based on the intervals, issue based, etc. Some of the meetings are organized at particular time interval like monthly, quarterly, biannually or annual meetings. They are very well planned. Venue, date, time are pre-decided well in advance. There are certain meetings which are issue based. For example, a meeting of people who want ration card, have drinking water problem, getting a voting card, etc. is called issue based meeting. The status of people who attend the meeting depends on the type of meeting. For example, in regular meetings, most of the participants or members know each other, whereas in issue based meetings, participants may not be necessarily knowing each other. They come together because of a common problem or common issue. Hence, the community worker should handle such meetings very carefully. Planning a meeting. Conducting meeting is an art and a skill as well. The community worker should be clear about the objectives of the meeting. Accordingly, she should plan the meeting. Meticulous planning ensures participation. The community worker should ensure that the participants are well prepared for the meeting, whether it is a regular meeting or an issue based meeting. The community worker should ask herself various questions. They include: what is the main purpose or main issue to be addressed in the meeting? Who is affected by it? Are people aware of its causes and effects? Is there any organization which is working in the same community on the same issue? Has anyone individually or in groups taken any action? If yes, what actions have been taken? What was its result? If no, why not till now the action has not been taken? Are there resources locally available to address these issues? Does it fit with the organization's goals and objectives where the community worker is going to work? Does it come in the purview of the organization for which the community worker is working? What kind of help the organization represented by the community worker can offer? What action the community worker expects from the people? What methods is he going to be used to address the issues, whether it is a brainstorming or discussion, whether she is going to use audio visuals, charts, statistics or references of other laws. Let us take one example. The Prerak wants to convey the importance of education to illiterate people and want to make an appeal to make them to attend the literacy class. Before organizing the meeting, the Prerak should collect the information about illiterate people. The information includes what type of occupation the people are engaged, how is it affecting their life, what difficulties are they acting or what difficulties are they facing due to illiteracy? Is there any organization who has started literacy classes in that particular village? If yes, why did they discontinue it? Is there any suitable venue where she can conduct literacy classes, and so on? The preparatory tasks includes, it is the responsibility of the community worker to ensure that everyone has been informed about the date and time, venue of the meeting along with the agenda if it is possible. The issue which is going to be discussed. There are various reasons because of which many meetings become unsuccessful. Let us see what are these reasons for unsuccessful meetings. Sometimes meetings are conducted without any obvious input or output. For hours the discussion goes on without any conclusion. Why does this happen? If you go to the root cause, you will find many reasons for ineffective meetings, such as a few I am going to quote here. There are certain issues which need not to be discussed in the meeting. The purpose of the meeting is not clear. Participation of wrong people as the issue does not concern them. Discussion, if goes out of the track and not controlled or guided properly, then the meeting becomes unsuccessful. To avoid this, one needs to follow certain guidelines. So, let us see how to hold a successful meeting. To make the meeting successful, the community worker should pay attention to various points. These are: first, selection of the convenient venue for the meeting, appropriate timing, participants selection, timely intimation and invitation of the meeting, preparation of an agenda, circulation of resource material or handouts in the meeting if required. Thumb rules for organizing meetings in community. Before organizing any meeting for any purpose, the community worker should remember various points. They include: be aware of the diversity of the community, get acquainted and respect culture and spiritual differences, respect the knowledge and experiences of the elderly people and leaders, understand and respect the local protocols and codes of ethics of each community, understand the learner, the way the community communicates with each other, give sufficient time to people to communicate to you, and also provide adequate opportunities for giving feedback about strengths and shortcomings of the actions taken. Understand and learn local people's language and respond to them in their language. Ensure that the work does not clash with any social or cultural activity. Don't get involved with any political party. Promote two-way communication across cultures. Don't enter in any community with a biased mind. Be ready to learn from people. Never keep any personal agenda. Don't enter community in an inappropriate way or inappropriate state of mind, under any influence of drug. Guidance for organizing meetings. Organizing a meeting in the community allows the community worker to understand the current situation of the community, its issues and their background. Initially, the community worker should invite all people for the meeting who with their experiences can contribute towards giving broader perspectives to the discussion. A community meeting can be beneficial if conducted properly. Before calling a meeting, identify issues to be discussed in the meeting. For example, there may be variety of issues like unemployment, malnutrition, health issues, drought, farmer suicides, drinking water problem, illiteracy and so on. Once you select the issue, follow the steps given here. That is, first is decide objectives. Decide the objectives of the meeting before conducting the meeting. These objectives will affect the way the meeting is planned and facilitated. Based on the objectives, agenda should be planned. Second important point is selection of a venue. The venue should be accessible and familiar to all the people who are going to attend or participate in it. It should be centrally located with enough space to accommodate all the people. It should be properly ventilated, that means enough air, light and good seating arrangement should be there. Sitting arrangement must be comfortable. If women are participating in the meeting, make some space available for children, as mostly women carry their children. Some open space for their children to play will help women to participate wholeheartedly. The venue must have drinking water and toilet facilities, even though the meeting is for an hour. The community worker can choose a familiar place such as maybe a school, Anganwadi or Samaj Mandir, maybe sometimes Gram Panchayat hall as well. The advantage of these places is any person, irrespective of their religion or caste, can enter into these places. If the meeting is to be conducted in an open area, the community worker should make an arrangement of dari or mat for sitting on the ground. Make arrangement of sound system if the number of people attending in the meeting is large. The next point is convenient timings. Decide timings in consultation with the participants. This increases attendance and participation of more people in the meeting. For example, if the meeting is for farmers and if it is in the peak season of farming, best way of calling a meeting is in the evening or at night, maybe after 7 p.m. If a meeting is to be discussed with the issues related to women and if they are housewives, the convenient time for meeting is in the afternoon, that is maybe 2 to 4 p.m. If all of them also do agricultural work, then the best way to conduct meeting is in the night. If meetings are organized in the night, select the venue which is safe, especially for women and girls. Make sure electricity is available, and if it is not available, at least make sure that other alternate arrangements can be done, maybe a Petromax or lantern. The community worker should take into consideration that the meeting does not clash with any other organization or group meetings. For example, some other agency working in that area has planned its meeting on the same day, may or may not be at the same time. People will get confused which meeting they should attend. Hence, the community worker should see that her meeting does not clash with any others. While deciding the date and time for the meeting, the community worker should consult the key persons. Avoid calling meetings on the day of festival or local ceremonies or marriages, ration distribution day, water timings, etc. Start and end the meeting on time without waiting for the habitual latecomers. The next point is agenda. Agenda refers to the list of most important items or issues to be discussed in the meeting. Based on the objectives of the meeting, an agenda should be prepared. Involve some key participants or maybe leaders if possible in preparation of the agenda. Do not keep too many items at a time to discuss in the one meeting. If there are many issues to be discussed, the community worker should prioritize them and plan the meeting accordingly. The agenda should have a last item known as any other matter. With the permission of the chair, one can discuss the subjects which come at the last moment. This allows individuals to raise those issues which are not included in the agenda. Once the agenda is ready, try to intimate the participants about the date, time and venue along with the agenda of the meeting wherever possible. If community worker can use different ways to intimate the participants about the meeting, such as sending letters, meeting personally if the number is less, or writing on a notice board kept at the prominent places in the community, maybe a davandi, that is an announcement, SMS, WhatsApp, etc. If the agenda is not sent well in advance, the community worker should make sure that it should be explained at the beginning of the meeting. Agenda helps the participants to know the issues to be discussed. It also helps them to realize the importance of attending the meeting. Identification of the participants. Selection of the people to attend the meeting depends on the issues to be discussed there. Sometimes the issue is related to a specific group of people. In such case, invite only that group of people. If the whole community is affected by the problem, then it is necessary to involve the whole community in planning and action. Make sure that the decision makers are involved in meetings. Take down names and signatures or maybe thumb impressions of the participants and keep a separate record of the attendance for next action purpose. During meeting, conduct a meeting in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Members should feel at ease. At the outset, welcome all the participants. Select one chairperson or a facilitator who will facilitate and direct the discussion. The community worker herself can play this role. The agenda should be explained at the beginning of the meeting. The community worker's role is to see that the agenda is followed correctly. People should be encouraged to participate. Nobody should dominate others. Each participant should be given an opportunity to express his or her opinion, feelings and discontent. The facilitator should see that nobody monopolizes the discussion. Those who are shy, do not speak, they should be encouraged to speak. The facilitator will lead the discussion to achieve the objectives of meeting and guide the participants to come to the consensus or unanimous decision. Community worker should see that conflicting situations does not arise, and if such a situation arises, handle carefully so that both the parties feel to be in win-win situation. Decisions should be taken with mutual consensus. Accordingly, plan of action can be decided to solve the issues. Throughout the meeting, the community workers should keep on eye-to-eye contact with the participants. This is very important thing. Let us see role of a community worker during the meeting. While facilitating the meeting, the community worker should ask open-ended questions. For example, what will you do in this situation? questions starting with why, how, when, where, who, what, which should be asked. By asking open-ended questions, you seek their active participation. After asking question, give them some time to think. Their silence or pause should not be understood as they don't know anything. Even after prolonged silence, if they do not respond, rephrase your question. Do not change your question. Try to get answer as rephrasing your question. Sometimes the facilitator can ask direct questions to the participants attending the meeting. Such questions help seek more participation and attention of the people. For example, what is your opinion? Would you like to comment on this? Also try to analyze why few people are silent. Culture is one of the factors which prevents people to keep mum. In certain communities, women do not speak in front of male folk. Sometimes the caste becomes an hindrance in keeping silence. The community worker should try to find out the reason for their non-participation and try to explain how this meeting is going to affect their lives directly or indirectly. Be cautious that the question should not mislead or confuse or put people on the defensive side. Questions should be well phrased and clarify the areas of discussion and make them feel free and open to respond. If the group does not respond, do not impose your ideas or decisions on them. Always avoid calling them by their first name. Address them respectfully. If a meeting is called to present report of activities carried out, then it should include the list of tasks conducted and the problems, if any, faced in carrying out the task. It must mention whether the task is completed or still needs more time to complete it. It must suggest if any help is needed from outside to finish it. If the task is not completed, seek help of the people and assign responsibilities to them. Ensure some follow-up mechanism to complete the task. Ask people to give their ideas, viewpoints which will enable to finish the task in stipulated time. The next point is decision making. The two most important strategies used in taking decisions are consensus and voting. In consensus, the issue is discussed at length with focus on each cause and effect side and then come to a conclusion which is accepted by all the participants or majority of the participants. Voting is done when there is a difference of opinion amongst the participants. The community worker or the chairperson of the meeting puts forward one decision raised through the discussion in the meeting and asks the participants to raise hands if they agree with it. If majority of participants accept it, then it becomes the decision and other participants have to accept it. Which are the closing remarks? At the end, the community worker must thank all the participants and others involved in the meeting. Let us see the factors affecting the meeting. For example, if the seating arrangement is improper, if the venue is congested and suffocating, venue is far away or not easily accessible to the participants, if no proper light arrangement is done, too noisy place where discussion cannot be heard properly, or non-availability of sound system or failure of sound system, domination of certain people or group which denies others to express their opinions and feelings also affects the meeting. Inconvenient timings, meeting stretched for too long, or disturbance from children are other factors which affect meeting. Also, if there is no intimation about the meeting or there is a communication gap, negligence towards people who need special arrangement such as handicapped or old people, if proper arrangement is not done for them, then definitely the meeting is going to be unsuccessful. There are various tips which a community worker can use while conducting the meetings in the community. One should keep in mind that the first and foremost point is establish rapport by using different skills and techniques. Start the meeting in friendly environment and make it interesting. Maintain the tempo throughout the meeting. Give direction if the discussion is going off the track and bring the discussion towards the right track without hurting anyone's emotions. Seek participation of each and every participant. Handle carefully the hot discussions, aggressive behavior, dominant people or conflicting situations, or sometimes attention seekers also. The community worker should control the over articulate people as it may disturb the time schedule and may result in the departure from the discussion of the main issue. Bring discussion towards decision making and prepare an action plan and distribute the responsibilities to the community people. To make the meeting successful, the community worker should use various skills and techniques. They include good listening skill, good planning skills, good thinking skills, what to say, when to say, appropriate time and how to say, in which manner it should be said. All these things should be taken care by the community worker. By any way, he or she should not insult any way. Without dominating people, the community worker has to conduct a meeting. Never be partial to anybody. Be balanced and neutral. Encourage everyone to participate. Help participants to take decisions. Encourage them to take decisions. Appreciate people's contribution. The community worker must also have negotiation skills and conflict management skills. Of course, they should have communication skills, especially in a cosmopolitan culture. He or she should have public speaking and presentation skills as well. Networking is also important wherever necessary. Neat record keeping is also an important skill a community worker should know. To summarize, the role of the community worker in organizing meetings in the community is very crucial. It depends on the type of community and the nature of the issues to be dealt with. The community worker has to adopt or adapt certain strategies. The community worker has to remember that the ultimate aim of his work is to improve the quality of life of people. He should always try to build up local leadership which will take action to materialize their unattended needs and solve problems. Remember, meetings play a significant role if the organization wants to work with the communities. Meetings, if conducted properly, help in collective decision making, planning and follow-up actions. They result in accountability of the decisions and the actions taken. They help to build good organization. If meetings are used in the right way, organizations can work efficiently and effectively. Sometimes we see that meetings go endlessly long without resulting in any concrete decisions or outcome. Such meetings create bad impression on participants and demotivates them. It is essential that some concrete decisions should be taken whenever you conduct a meeting. Try to utilize meeting places for democratic and constructive discussions, which will automatically lead to the total participation of the community people. Thank you.